So hello everyone, this is your Krishna in Women Today YouTube channel. So this channel is about interviewing many women entrepreneurs all across the world. And today's our guest is Pratiksha ma'am. She is from Australia and she is a professional German and Deutsch trainer. So I welcome you, Pratiksha ma'am, to this Women Today's YouTube channel. So I'm very humbled to have your interview in our channel. So good evening, ma'am. Hi, how are you?
Good afternoon, Krishna, and thanks for inviting me for this chat. I'm really glad that I have got this stage opportunity to talk about my experience and help students if they were willing to learn the language.
Yeah, of course, because now time Indian time is now around 2 o'clock, but your German time will be like around 5 hours ahead. So it's like good evening for you, and it's just good afternoon for me. So thank you for just
Yeah, yeah.
thank you for
So the Australian time. So I just wanted to tell you that I'm originally from India. I was born and brought up in Mumbai. After
yeah,
marriage, I moved to Australia. So that's yeah. So but yeah, my base is India itself.
your base is India. Glad to know.
Yeah.
So actually, the first question is, what motivated you in your life to become a German and Dutch trainer? Na?
Well, it's a very interesting story and interesting journey. And so since I was in school, I was also always fascinated about different culture and different languages. Okay. And after my 12th standard got completed in the summer vacation, I actually thought that why not? Because, my 12th is the second main board exam, you can say, in, every student's life. It was completed, and I was thinking, ki, what should I do next in my summer vacation until my degree college starts? And I always had that, keen interest in learning some language. And when I was in my school days, earlier we had Discovery Channel, Nat Geo Channel. I used to watch a lot of cultural, thing that people are going, for the foreigners, artists, they are going, they are speaking different languages. And that's how I actually thought that you have one tongue, but you can speak multiple languages, right? And I just thought that I'll just go and enroll for a foreign language class. Initially, I wanted to learn Chinese language, but trust me, back those days in 2000, I think 2003, I'm talking about 2003, when I started actually my journey, right? It was very difficult to find a language, trainer. Chinese language, Mandarin, which we called, was very expensive. And then I had only two options, which is French and German. And then I was like thinking, French, any which ways, is very common because even my uncles used to have, French language in their college. So I thought, like, let's do something which is not common during those days, okay? And I ended up going for a one session German language, and I liked it and I enrolled it.
Yeah, that's a great thing because since you wanted to talk about a Chinese language, what motivated you to become a Chinese language? Because Chinese language, there are different languages in Chinese. Like in India, we speak
Yeah,
Malayalam, Hindi, Telugu. In Chinese, we have
right,
Mandarin, Cantonese, and it starts going on. So in the same way,
right.
what made you a boundary between this Chinese and German language? Because it's like German, if you can just enter the German country, or what did you think that you should neglect Chinese and you should adopt German?
Yeah, so firstly, why I thought about Chinese language was because in Discovery Channel, when I think I was roughly ninth standard, okay, I saw there were different weeks going on, okay, and I don't know, I was just fascinated by that episode, and I thought that okay, I want to learn that. The reason I didn't opted for Chinese language was because the course was very expensive. It was for one. I think for 15 or 20 hours, it was 15,000 rupees that time. So it was
1990,
very, not
1990,
1990, in 2003, in 2003.
yeah, 15,000 will be like around 1 lakh. I mean, like around 80 or
It
90,000.
was very expensive and it was just my hobby. I cannot spend 15,000 rupees on a hobby. And to tell you, today, language learning is kind of common in India nowadays, but
It's
back
become
those
mandatory.
days,
That
it's mandatory, right?
because if
Schools
you want
have
to,
it, and then
I think if you want to enter a German university, the basic thing is you should learn German language. I think even the education is
exactly,
free. Education is free, but you wanted to make sure that you are there are several.
the local language.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you know the local language, you should pass the exams even before you join the university so that you
yeah,
will enroll in it.
yeah.
Okay, go on, ma'am.
Yeah, so back those I'm telling those days because it's been roughly 18, 19 years. We are in 2025, and I passed my 10th standard in 2004 and my graduation in 2009. So it's been long time, okay? It's been a long time, 15, 16 years actually. So that time, nobody used to think to go abroad. Very rarely people wanted to go abroad for masters, etc. So this language learning was totally out of scope. And whomever I told that I am going to learn language, everybody is like, "Are you mad? Why are you doing this? What are you going to get out of this? This is all, waste of money." And the courses are very expensive because, there were very few coaching centers, very few trainers. The demand is high today also, but today you have a lot of trainers available. Earlier time there were very rarely, few trainers available, so the fees was extremely high. And as I said that, I dropped Chinese because it was too expensive for me. Then I was left with only two languages, which was very trending during those times. One was French and then one was German. And as I said that, French was again a bit common because even my uncle used to speak, French. So I thought, let's go with German. And then even I thought about the economy at that time, how the country's economy is, because this is also a very common question which we get from students, which language should we, opt for? I think you should understand your interest. You should also understand the country's economy. And I used to read a lot of books during my, college, school times. From school time onwards, I was also interested in geopolitics, etc. I knew what country is manufacturing what. I had that kind of sense, when I was in 12th standard. And then I thought that Germany economy is good. Germany has, engineering. Germany has so many companies. French, I have heard more on fashion. So I segregated, and, did some like did some, test, like, thinking, and then I chose German language. So that is how, like, in future what will be useful. I always think, what I study today, will it be useful in future or not? That's my, that's how I think.
Your basic thinking actually landed you in Australia. But the thing is that being a German trainer and being in Australia, teaching students German and Deutsch language. So please tell us, why didn't you go to Frankfurt or Berlin or something like that? But you have landed in Australia. So please tell us about your journey from India to Australia and being a
Yeah.
Deutsch and German trainer.
Yeah. So, yeah. Again, this is also an interesting story, I feel, because back in India, so I am a German language trainer, but I have 14 years of banking experience, corporate experience. So, as I said, that I am from Mumbai. I graduated in 2009. I did my bachelor's in commerce, and uh, when I graduated, I was fluent with my German. I had completed, also there are different levels in German. I completed C1, that is the, fifth level, and that time it was the highest level actually. I have completed that, and I started working in banks. So my first bank was, it was one of the biggest bank in Germany, Deutsche Bank actually. So they were looking for someone who can speak German language as well as you are into banking, okay? So is that Saturdays and Sundays I used to teach, but for straight 11 years when I was in India, I worked with the bank. So I was working all 7 days, 5 days banking job I was doing, and weekends I was teaching actually. And I have done lot of freelancing, projects. Also, just to tell you that when I was in college, I had started giving tuitions in college itself. German language tuitions I had started giving in my second year of college. So I had, there are some colleges in Mumbai, they actually have German as a second language. So I started teaching them, and then I realized that I also like teaching, because you have to explore, you have to discover what you like, right? So I started, teaching. Then my graduation got completed. Then I got a job with the banking. And the best part was, I was very clear that I want to do something in the language space. But the best part was, I graduated in bachelor's in commerce, right? So finance. So I got a job with a combination of German language as well as banking. And from there, as I said, that weekends I used to teach, and Monday to Friday I was actually doing my job. So I worked with Deutsche Bank, then I worked with few other companies. I had changed, like I worked in 11 years, I've worked with four major banks as a German language expert. I started as an analyst level, and then I went till assistant manager level in 2018. And I continued my teaching journey. I started with just one student teaching, German, but so far I've taught 20,000 students. And yeah,
That's great.
I've taught 20,000, yeah,
20,000
20,000
students,
students.
it's like what to say. Even if you have just one student per day, it will be like 365 days, 365 students only. But you have just teach 20,000 students. Like for one class, how many students will be like in your classroom? For
Yeah,
one
so
class?
started it were 15 to 20 students, but that is over the period of 10 years I have taught. Obviously, this involves corporate trainings. I have also got some corporate trainings with some major companies, wherein obviously the ratio of the students is more, right? Because when you're doing corporate trainings, I have taught in schools also. So I have mixed, experience. So my 10 years, I'll tell you that after my graduation, I graduated when I was 20 years, and till 30 years. Those 10 years, I know that I didn't had, I was not married. I didn't had any, family. There are students who get family responsibilities that you have to pay the rent, etc., etc. I didn't have, luckily, I mean, I didn't had this thing. I experimented with German language left, right, center. I had also worked with German embassy for some time. I did freelancing jobs. I went to the coaching center. So there are very popular coaching centers in Mumbai. I have taught there also. Then I started my own institute also. When I started my own institute, which is the Language Hub, um, uh, you know. Uh, that time in 2015, I started also hiring 2 3 more trainers with me, because I could not handle so many volume of students. But because the COVID was not into picture, earlier students used to mostly learn language at Saturdays and Sundays only. So I was only teaching Saturdays and Sundays, and then I was continuing my banking job the way it was. Yeah, I balanced it both, and I really like teaching. Lot of people kept asking that, Pratiksha, how are you managing, 10 years you have worked all 7 days. How do you manage? Don't you get bored? Are you not going for parties, movies? To be very honest, I went to parties also, movies also. I was cooking also. I was doing everything. I would say that because teaching is my passion, I continued doing that for 10 years without a break. If you're not passionate about anything, you will do it for a very short period of time.
Yeah, speaking of that, you are doing multitasking. Like you used to train students and also used to go for movies, and you're going doing a multitasking thing. And also at the same time, very fascinated to hear that you're doing the same work for past 7 days. Like you're not having any kind of rest, but at the same time, your work is your life, and that's your passion. So it's like I'm hearing a Tom Cruise interview. Like he used to tell,
Oh no,
morning if I wake up,
I don't know that.
Morning, if I wake up, I used to go to the movie set. I do not have any kind of holidays. Even 7 days, even every day, I used to go to the movie set, or I used to have some kind of movie shoots outdoors. So that's how my work goes. So the same way you're telling that for every 7 day, I used to do the same work because I am fascinated in it and I love my job. So that's what you're trying to tell. And on the
So,
other
but
hand, yes, tell me, man.
yeah, yeah, but I want to just tell that I'm not encouraging people to work 7 days. Like, it's not that people should work 7 days. The thing is that teaching gave me some kind of, satisfaction. When my students, they settle, they say that I'm doing good, I have been to Germany, I have got a PR, I feel so good. Teaching is the only job where there's no competition. If your student is, successful, you feel immense happy. I would definitely say that those 7 days, 5 days when I was working in bank, it was little monotonous. When you work, in a corporate world, sometimes it gets very monotonous when you don't, there are different situations. But because teaching is my passion, it boosts my energy. So you said that how many, like coming back to your original question, sorry, how many students I had. Saturdays and Sundays, I used to take 4 batches. Okay, so my batches used to start at 10 o'clock. So 10 to 12, one batch. Then half an hour break I used to give to myself for lunch. Then 12:30 to, uh, till 6 o'clock, I used to take class, or 5:30. There were 3, 4 batches like that, Saturdays and Sundays. And in the evening, then I used to go out. So you can say roughly, like weekends, you can say roughly 40 students in batches, split. I was handling everything, like the marketing and everything I was handling, like, yeah.
So on the other hand, you told like you work for German embassy, right, ma'am? So did you get any
I
opportunity to
did.
move for Germany?
Yeah, so very interestingly, my students, I'm in touch with most of my students now also, and they feel very surprised that why am I in Australia? So I did get a lot of opportunities, to move to Germany earlier. So my first job, I said that it was with Deutsche Bank. From there itself, I had got an opportunity to, move abroad. And my first visit to Germany was in 2011. And The reason I didn't opt it was because I feel that I was too attached to my, parents. And that time, I think I didn't had that much of thinking capacity that these days I see that students are leaving parents, and, they go abroad and they settled. I think I was too scared to take that decision. I was not strong enough to take that decision. And I thought that everything is here in Mumbai. Like, I have my job, I have my parents, and, I have my teaching. I was content, I was satisfied, and I was fulfilled. I actually never thought about it, and it was not too common like these days. These days it's really common that students do their bachelor's, and for masters they, travel abroad. It was really not common. So I think I had that fear also, and also I didn't had that much of thinking capacity that I can go abroad, and then, I can earn money and then come back. I never thought in that direction. So that's why I never went. And but I think I should have taken that decision, because in 2019, then I got married and my husband is in Australia. So I ultimately had to come to Australia. So yeah, the reason I didn't move to Germany being a German language trainer was that I never felt like I didn't had that type of confidence to leave my parents, and, take that bold decision. But yes, I think I would r- suggest students, or, anybody who's watching, like, if you think that you are confident and you have to, you should, like, you want to move abroad, take that experience, I would suggest just do it. Because I see my situation, like, I'm in Australia after marriage. So yeah.
Yeah, on the other hand, I totally owned by your story of this kind of things. The thing is that how do you rate yourself with other I mean, with other German people? Like you're going to meet a German people and you're going to speak with them in German language. And How do you rate yourself when you're speaking to them? Do they feel like they're speaking to the native person, or do they feel like they're speaking to the foreign person? Because with the basic accent they will be able to find out, okay, this person is a native person, and with the same accent they are able to judge that this is not a person from Germany. So please tell us about your experience you had with a German speaking German national. So how was it, and how do they feel
Yeah,
like, okay, this is the person, they're talking like the same accent, and it's very excited to see you, and how do they feel when they talk to you, man?
yeah. Yeah, so I will share my first Germany travel experience. So I went to Germany in October 2011. And as I said, it was very rare that anybody will speak, German language, or anybody is going to think also about learning a foreign language back, that time. And I think I also was a little bit fearful, because see what happens when you learn a language in your home country, how much ever good you are, you still have that, little bit of butterflies. You have that underconfidence, if I speak to a local German, will he going to understand us, or how it is going to be. But to be very honest, I got a very overwhelming, like feedback that my German was really good, my grammar was good, and I remember that there were heads of. I was at a very junior level because I was a fresher in the bank. There were heads of the company who used to come and meet me. Oh, you speak German, and then they were very excited, and they were very. I mean, they were in awe that how did you learn German language in India? I mean, is that even a thing? And I
Because
said that
at that
yes,
time,
there are,
yeah, because nowadays people do learn German language since they have to
it's
make
common.
themselves adapt to that environment, and also they have to go to German to work. For this purposes, they have to learn the German language mandatorily. But at that time, like around 2003 or in the late 1990s, people will be like, as you told, they'll be very excited at the at the first starting time, like, okay, this person is speaking our language. So it's the basic thing. Okay, go on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I got a, and then the thing is that that travel actually boosted my confidence also, that even I speak good German, because I told you, like, you will be in India, you'll not have anybody speaking German with you, obviously, because I was from Maharashtra, so it was mainly, Marathi, Hindi, or because Mumbai is cosmopolitan, so other languages. But when I went to Germany, I spoke German, and people could understand, the locals could understand, and I was like, oh wow, I can also speak German and I'm doing a good job. So that boosted my confidence, right? And it helps you in the corporate world, because I was hired as a language expert, right? So definitely it helped me. It motivates you, and the experience was good. I think, and regarding the accent, I feel that I personally feel I don't go on accents, because I am in Australia. I can do Australian accent, but I speak in the language which I am speaking, right? And even when I go to Germany, like, I speak the original accent which I can. I don't believe in copying the accent somehow. Like, this is my personal choice. I think when you pronounce the words correctly and your grammar is good enough, people will understand you. You don't need, accent. If the accent is coming naturally to you, it is good. But I personally don't like to fake the accent.
The thing is that if you go to any German restaurants or any kind of German supermarkets, so how do you feel? Like, you go voluntarily talk to German people, or like you just remain humble and you just do your work?
Well, the interesting fact is that once you are out of German airport, nothing is in English. Everything, all the signboards, if you go to supermarket, everything is actually in German language. And people do speak by default German. Even when my first visit was actually in Frankfurt. Okay, Frankfurt is, I would compare it like, a financial hub like Mumbai. It's a cosmopolitan place, but still, even there, people. I mean, I remember one incident. I was at the bus stop. There was one lady, German lady who came and who just asked, what time is this train? She can clearly see that I'm not a local, but she still opted to speak in German language. So it's yeah, because say for example, if suppose I am in India and I see a foreign national, maybe an Australian, I'm not going to speak Hindi ki kitne baje ki train hai. I'm going to speak in English, right? Because I know he's a foreign national. But in Germany, things are slightly different. I think there are some parts where people do speak English, of course, if you want to, they can speak good English. But all the European countries, I have visited almost 10, 12 European, countries. And everybody speaks their own language.
So the same thing happens in India. Even if you go to anywhere across any state in India, people always speak the mother language. And even if they do know English language, and if they also do know that they do not know the native language, then they will be speaking only the native language, because that's how they have been trained for so many years. So in the same way, the German people are speaking the German native language. So in the same way, we have to adopt to wherever we go. So wherever city we are moving to, or wherever country we are moving to, so we should always keep in mind that we should try to adopt like basic English we can speak, but at the same time, it will be good to speak their own native language, so that it will be helpful for us to communicate, and it will develop our life in many ways. So on the other hand, being in Australia, so what are the German difficulties you find? Like, okay, if I'm teaching an Australian student German language, so what are the difficulties you find in teaching them the German and Deutsch language, ma'am?
Uh, well, each student is different. I will not say Australian, Indian, or German, student in that manner. I think, see, for me, Australian accent is obviously not a problem because I have been into Australia almost for 6 years now. Um, I cannot compare between students, to be very honest, because doubts are doubts. If it's an Indian student, Australian student, or Korean student, or any type of a student, if they don't understand certain concept, they just don't understand. And as a teacher, it's my duty that, I actually simplify it and make sure that the student understands. So I don't have a proper answer for this question. A doubt is a doubt, whether whichever national the student is.
Yeah, the same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, the same thing. Actually, I should have framed the question like this: like, what are the difficulties as a German trainer you find to teach a student? So that's the way of asking the right question. But
Yeah,
I have,
right. Yeah.
since you're in Australia, I have just mentioned that I do not know that you're speaking to multilingual kids. Like you're speaking to a Chinese person, you're speaking to an Indian, you're speaking to an Australian, you're speaking to an American kid. I do not know that. Since I'm not aware of it, I just frame the question like this. Okay, that's the
Yeah.
great thing. Whatever the difficulties they are finding, you're able to address them in the correct manner. Okay, ma'am. So
Right.
at the
So,
same time, yes, tell me, ma'am.
yeah, sorry. I just want to add that, now since because, obviously I'm teaching here, but then since it's an online thing these days, obviously I have students from multiple national. Majority of my students are Indians because I take classes from Zoom. Then there are some from Dubai also. There are students from Germany also who are actually Indians who are in Germany. I have students, I have some students who are from Saudi also. So it's very mixed up actually.
So you do a lot of online classes in majority, or you do a lot of offline classes? What kind of classes you do majority?
It's mostly online, and I'll tell you like my majority, because my base is has always been in India, Mumbai. And with this Instagram, etc., it gives opportunity to explore more students. I can reach out to more students. Mostly my students, I would say 95% are Indian students, maybe Indians in Dubai, Indians in Saudi, who want to migrate to Germany, or in India, like students from Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, Kanpur city. So like that.
So on the other hand, Deutsch language. So is this the same as German
Deutsch.
language? Yeah. Is this the same as
Yeah.
German language, or is this something like different?
No. So German, German language and Deutsch are one and the same. It's just that German in German language is Deutsch.
Oh, that's that, now I get it. So it's like
Yes, and
same
if you
German language.
German language, but and there's a difference. Like people get confused between Dutch and Deutsch. There is one more language which is spoken in Netherlands, Dutuch, Dutch. Dutch is
Amsterdam.
different, and Deutsch. So yeah, Amsterdam exactly. So Dutch and then Deutsch. Yeah,
So now we are speaking to Deutsch, that is in German language. Okay, that's a great thing.
German. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Ma'am. So on the other hand, what I wanted to ask you is, so what are the future ventures that you are having in your mind regarding being a German trainer and Deutsch trainer? What are the ventures you are planning to do in the next 2 to 3 years, ma'am?
Obviously focusing, so majorly our classes are for 15 plus students, okay? People who mostly students from engineering background, and I feel that I would like to tell that, if you are actually studying engineering and planning to go abroad, of course US is one of the markets which is explored market. Germany is the best place for engineers. It is the best place for engineers. So obviously, as I said, that we do mostly 15 plus. If you are 10 standard, once your 10 standard is done, we take the enrollments. But this we are focusing on also kids from 6th standard onwards. So I want to focus on that. And also, we have recently started career counseling also, because I have got wide experience into corporate world. And then, as a teacher, you always guide. So and since I have good experience, we have recently started, career counseling. If suppose the student is confused what to do, in which field to go. So, we have a proper test to analyze, what is the interest of the student, and a career counseling, given, like, I personally, take that counseling. Also, there are some times where students are very demotivated. These days distraction is so common, so counseling for that purpose. I mean, counseling something which is related to mindfulness, but in career.
Yeah, I do understand that you're a multilingual, I mean, a multitasking person. Like you're a German trainer and you're also working as a career counselor, because people nowadays are very confused about the career. Even if I'm an engineering graduate basically, and after I did my engineering,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, after I did my engineering, I was like, okay, why I did select this engineering? Because my parents forced me to do so. And on the other hand, like, okay, I should enter into media, like I should become an actor, something like that. And meanwhile, I'm just doing this kind of interview stuff, just moving on the media, and something like which runs in our basic subconscious mind will always make us like, you always wanted to be a German trainer.
yeah,
So and also you wanted to move abroad. So connecting all these dots, so the god made you like, okay, what you wanted to do in life, you wanted to move abroad, right? So I will make you work in Australia, and also at the same time you wanted to teach German language, so that's what you're doing right now. So all these dots are connected according to our thoughts and according to our subconscious mind. So we have discussed a lot of questions regarding your professional career being a German and Deutsch trainer. So also at the same time being a student, and if I wanted to become a professional in German language trainer, so consider a junior coming to you, and if they're asking any kind of skills they wanted to adopt themselves, and if they wanted to be a successful professional German trainer like you, so what are the things
mhm.
they should do in basic, man?
So first thing first, so for German language, there are actually 6 levels, okay? So A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. In order to, teach, or maybe if you want to make a corporate career, for that also you need minimum B2 level, that is 4 levels, okay? So you have to start with A1 level, which if you do weekday course it takes approx 2.5 months. So all these 6 levels, if you have time, even if you're doing 3 days a week class, I think in 2 years with, Holi, Diwali, and all these vacations. In 2 years, actually, you can complete the entire German language certification. Those 6 levels you can easily complete. And of course, if it is 4 levels, then 1.5, years. And my request or my suggestion to the students, any professional student, is always that focus on the language, practicing the language. A lot of students focus on certificates, okay? So as I said that I was in bank, and obviously I was also interviewing sometimes the candidates, right, to hire the people. Certificates, guys, don't matter much. Even if you have 100 and 100, and in an interview you cannot speak the language, nobody is going to hire you, right? Certificate is good, for admissions, etc. You go to Germany, you need certification because it's a paper based requirement, right? It's a document. But language skills is something which you have to focus on speaking, grammar, vocabulary. If you know grammar, you don't know vocabulary, you'll not be able to speak the language. If you know vocabulary, you don't know grammar, then also you'll not be able to speak the language. So it's a combination. And no language. So a lot of questions also come like, is German hard, French hard, Japanese hard, Chinese, Korean, what sort of, difficulties there are? I don't think any language is hard to learn. Um, because you start from scratch. All the languages you start from scratch. All you have to do is your regular homework. If you are learning a vocabulary, you'll have to learn that vocabulary, because water, computer, your specs, hair, face, everything is a new vocabulary. You'll have to learn it. Remember that it's kind of a theory, so 80% is learning job. You can say like mug up. So yes, you have to mug up, because if this is a bottle, flasher, you'll have to remember this is flasher, this is Wasser. Yeah, so you have to remember it. Yeah. So I hope I have answered your questions. Like, you have to start from scratch. That is, beginner level, A1 level, and also it is also a discovery. A lot of students, she has learned German, or my friend is learning German, so let me also learn German. You learn it and you see whether your interest is there or not, because this is interest based. If you can dance, not necessarily I'll be able to dance. Maybe I'm good at something else.
Yeah, other than that, I wanted to ask you is because since you told that you're a career counselor, so if a student is coming to you and if they're telling like, okay, ma'am, I know German language, please suggest me a suitable job in abroad, like I'll be getting a good pay and I'll be able to sustain my life very happily. So what kind of job do you recommend them? So being an Indian or being a foreign national, if they know any kind of German language, so what are the basic jobs that you will be able to suggest them when they move on to a foreign country like a German, Frankfurt, or they're moving to New York, or they're moving to Australia like you. So, what is the common job that they can get if they know a German language, ma'am?
Yeah. So firstly, I'll start with India itself. In India itself, there's a lot of scope, lot of opportunity that one can actually, if you know B2 level, that is 4 levels, there are a lot of companies who hire you as a German language expert. And the salary, currently, see, I don't know the salary range, but I'll tell you that while I was in India 6, 7, 8 years back, easily 4 lakh per annum, 5 lakh per annum is something which you can definitely get. And I think it will be higher. And see, there are always two profiles. One is only German language related. So only German language related profiles would be teaching profile. It will be translation. It will be interpretation. So translation is document to document when you translate. So per word you get certain amount. Okay. Interpretation is basically where person to face you are interpreting the thing there. And and then there are other jobs which are domain plus language. Now when I say domain plus language means you will have an opening in banking profile plus you need a German language. The salary will be slightly higher there. Okay, you will be in engineer plus German language. So there are always two fields open. And I would say that a language expert is always at a benefit, because you have always two career to choose. You can always move into only German profile, language profile, or you can move into domain plus language profile. So I'll give you one example. I started with banking, German plus finance. Okay. And my next profile with Accenture didn't involve any banking. It was only purely German language. And then my
So,
third job when I
uh, just tell me one thing, ma'am. So, are you a business analyst? Like you will be like a translator between the company and the German clients. So,
no,
is it like that? So, what kind of
that is also one of the profile, but my profile was not like that. Basically, see what happens in India, lot of work, because it's a globalization, it's a time of globalization. You just don't work for Indian clients, you have your German clients also. Okay. And that's why your shift timing also will always be in European timing. So when you're actually working maybe in Deutsche Bank or Accenture or all these Wipro and I don't know, like third party companies also, there are clients who are based in Germany. So their systems sometimes, like SAP system, I worked on SAP systems. Okay, that is in German. So there will be requirement that we know need someone from finance, but we also need someone or finance engineering or XYZ domain. Plus, we need someone to understand the system language. So that's why you get hired.
so,
Interpretation is one of the job. I haven't done interpretation. I've done freelancing translation. At home also you can do translation job. There will be resumes to translate. There are websites where projects are uploaded, and you can pick up your own project, because see, language skill also depends person to person. And every translation is different. Today if you tell me, can I translate medical
medical
translations,
translator.
yeah, I'll not be able to do it because the words are a little different. I can do it, but I have to refer too much of dictionary. For me, like,
Because
different translations.
I
Yeah.
think medical transcriptor you have to learn a specific course, because in India I have found many people going to a medical transcriptor job. The basic job is they'll be just transcripting a lot of medicines related to medical field. So in order to do that we have to learn some specific course, so it doesn't have to do anything with the German language. So that's what you're telling right now, ma'am. Right, ma'am?
So see, what I'm trying to say is that, no, what I'm trying to say is that translation you can do, but there is a translation specification also. You see the products, when you purchase any product, there is a manual. It is in all languages, how to use. If you purchase any product, electronic product,
Catalog.
German is written, English is written, French is written, Arabic is written,
Yeah, catalog.
in the manual,
Yes.
how to use. That is also done by a translator. That jobs are also available. Someone is doing that, right?
Yes, I totally agree with
See,
you.
now with Chat GPT and AI, maybe that might be redundant, for future. But the work used to be, done earlier. Earlier times, I have also done one of the job wherein a company had hired me only to interview candidates. They needed German language candidates. So if you explore the market, there is a lot. There's a lot. So as I said, there are always two types of job available: only German related and your domain plus the people who are into medical line, buyer, and other companies are there. They also hire you as a German language experts. And it is very easy to make a switch. And I'm telling you, like, for me, whenever I got a opportunity in bank, I'm talking again and again about banking industry because that's my domain. It has always been my domain. I have seen people getting 100% rise when you switch the job. Why? Because they are not able to find candidates who can speak fluent German plus banking. It's a very rare combination.
Yeah, because since you're a superwoman, that's what I'm able to tell you right now. Because you have been working for the banking and also you're a professional German trainer, as it's a kind of rare combination. That's great, man. And also at the same time, consider other than banking sectors. So if any kind of other people from other sectors, like a doctor working in India for 10 years, and if they wanted to shift their work professionally from India to Germany, and if they wanted to work in Germany, so do they have to learn this German language, or is it like, okay, I can manage with my basic English?
No, they'll have to learn German because see, doctors they have to first obviously the doctor degree which they do in India, they have to do that. But when you can go to migrate to a country, Germany, Australia, you have to then study their
Yeah,
doctorate
I don't know.
also, right? And with certain fields, you have to be fluent with German language. I'll tell you why, because doctors directly talk to patients.
So that's how the thing
Yeah,
is saying.
yeah. So if you are talking directly to a customer, directly, even if you are a real estate agent in Germany, okay, you want to work as a real estate agent, you're directly talking to a customer. You'll have to be fluent in German language. Whereas, software engineers or, people like me who are behind the laptops, okay, behind the desk, we don't interact daily with the clients or customers. We might even if you know like A2 level or B1 level, it is fine. But professions where you're directly talking to someone, especially doctor, like if doctor cannot understand the language, they'll not be able to understand the difficulty what a patient is going through. So you have to be fluent with the language in case of doctors.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. So other than that, if you wanted to tell anything via this interview to the people who are watching this interview, is there any kind of message you wanted to tell people, ma'am?
See, overall, with my experience, I would say that, you should always try and discover yourself. Because until unless you try something, if like there were a lot of people, told me that, what are you, in my family members, like, my extended family members, that what are you learning? German language, there's no career, there's no future, nothing, will work for you. But if you passionately follow something, I think God helps you, and you do make a way. At least you should try it. At least you should try it so that you don't have that regret. Second thing which I will recommend these days is discipline and routine, because I feel that because we have lost that ability to, there was a time when we didn't had mobile phones, okay, so we used to think a lot, we used to think with speak with ourselves that what you want to do with your future. Now because that thinking time is gone and we are engaged to our mobile phones, etc., I think that opportunity to be with yourself has slightly gone. So uh, a vision board, or what you want to, a roadmap, your what you want to do in your life, your visualization, so these things do help. And I do believe I'm combining this topic of manifestation, etc., but for me 100% every time it has helped. The only reason I am doing what I am doing currently is because I thought someday that I am going to do this. When I was a kid, actually, I used to wear a chunni, or my mom's chunni, and I used to act like I'm teaching thousand of students. This is when I was in fifth standard. So I think a visualization, what you want to do in future is important. Today we are using laptop. Today we are using this, mobile phone. There will be someone who invented. किसी ने सोचा होगा, someone might have thought that we can create something. That's why we are using it today. So it's very important to plan your journey. It's very important to plan your journey. So these two things, like, try things, discover yourself. Until unless you try things, there are a lot of students who feel that, oh, it is maybe courses are expensive, why to waste money, etc. Oh, kya hoga. No, if you think that you are interested, try it. And education never gets wasted, never gets wasted. I have done courses in Italian languages. I've done Japanese course also. I could not continue or further. I just did one level. Obviously, I'm not fluent. I cannot speak. I cannot teach, but I know something.
So
So it never gets wasted.
yeah, okay. Speaking about your professional as a German trainer, so what kind of classes do you conduct for how many hours? Like, or do you teach for 1 hour, or do you teach like half an hour every day? Do you work 7 days a week, And do you do afternoon or evening sessions or morning sessions? So please tell us about your daily life, ma'am. This is a question which I wanted to ask in the first place, but
Okay, yeah.
now only I'm asking now.
Yeah, so as I said that, I always was connected to corporate world and I was teaching. Now here in Australia also, I am working partially with a corporate company in my same domain, okay? And I'm teaching also. Now, as I told you that I had a setup in Mumbai, right? So I do have some trainers who, teach, when there are students. I also teach. Um, I recently got a baby. I was blessed with a baby boy. So I'm not teaching fully, but I have started teaching on weekend. But our batches, basically, we have weekday batches, we have weekend batches. Weekday batches are 3 days a week, and mostly it is Indian time after office, 8 p.m. onwards. Because people go to engineering college, people go to offices. So after that, and it is for 1.5 hour, 3 days a week. And then we have weekend courses are from 10 a.m. batches there, then you have 1 p.m. batch, so it's a combination. Because the moment you get and then we conduct a free trial session. So whatever inquiries we get on the weekend, we conduct a free trial session for 1 hour, give you good detail. And then according to that, the batches are segregated. If somebody wants weekday batch, so weekday, weekend batch, weekend, so that way the batches are segregated actually.
So it's like 1.5 hours. If you start a session in the morning, it will be like 1.5 hours, right, ma'am?
Yes, yeah.
So is it like a group class, like a minimum of around how many students are will be involved in this online Zoom call
Yeah.
class, ma'am?
Um, so we have two batches. One is a group class, and minimum, like maximum students in a group is 5 to 7 only, because we want to give personal attention. And when we teach, we check each and every pronunciation also. Like it's the same way the classroom setup, is not that we skip anything, nothing. And as I said, that there are inquiries which are also from abroad, like the time zone is different for for students. We also offer one-on-one batches, so no other students, just you, because to settle the timing. So yeah, group batch, maximum 7 students, 3 to 7 students, one-on-one batch, one student. Or if it's a couple, sometimes even couples travel to Germany, so 2 students, yeah.
So will it consider if a person is connecting to you at 8 o'clock in Indian time? So will you be the person teaching, because it's like around 5 hours again? It's like midnight in Australia. So are you the person teaching this, or
Yeah.
do you have any kind of trainers
uh,
who teach
Yeah,
this?
so as I said that, when I was in India itself, I had a lot of volume of students. It was humanly impossible for me to teach so many students. I have teachers whom I had hired back in 2017. Okay. And those teachers continue to teach with me till date. So if it is in my time zone, like just this Saturday, we are going to start a weekend batch, which I will be taking as per Indian time, 10 to 12 p.m. But I have more four teachers.
Did you tell
So other Indian
Did you tell that the Indian time is from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m.?
10 a.m. 10 a.m. to
Yeah,
12
now
p.m.
I understand. Okay, you're doing a morning batch like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yeah, so I basically teach between 10 to 4 p.m. I can teach. And the the evening Indian timing class after 6 p.m. is taken by all my other German trainers who are working with me since last so many years. And that's the reason, being in Australia, I can actually continue this business, because the quality is there. The trainers are very good, they're very friendly, they're very understanding, they teach very nicely, they haven't left me. And also I give opportunities to freshers who want to teach. I train them. I have done that. I have actually, if anybody who has done B2 level, C1 level, they're looking to teach, they can reach out to me. I guide them, I train them, because everybody, I believe everybody starts from someday somebody has to start, and somebody has to give opportunity. There are people who will not hire fresher teachers. You don't have experience. I feel that I also started as a fresher. Everybody starts as a fresher. So I do take interviews. All the teachers, whether experienced, non experienced, I take their interview
and I select the teachers, and then only they're teaching, just to monitor the quality, because I am, miles apart. So I want that all my students should get top notch, training. I need teachers who are passionate about teaching, and not just hourly basis they want to complete something. So I check a lot of things in interview, and then only hire my trainers.
So currently, how many students are just enrolled in your class, ma'am? So per month, so you are teaching and your subordinate teachers are teaching. So as a whole, how many students have been enrolled to your teaching class per month, ma'am?
Per month, I think on an average, it will be like 50, 60. Sometimes the number is also more, sometimes it's less also. It purely depends on how many inquiries we get. And as you know, Krishna, that nowadays, everything, because earlier I had a classroom training in Mumbai, in Thane. Was in that location. After COVID, we shut down our classes, and also I moved to Australia. So everything is online. And when you're online, you have to do lot of marketing, creating the marketing ads, creating the reels. You have to put so much of efforts into it. So it depends, how well is your, advertisement is running, how many students do you get. So it all depends on but on an average, 50 to, 70 students are there per month. Yeah.
So do you
In
have
different,
Yeah, do you have any ideas like I should extend the number of students? I should extend the volume, like I should teach around 1,000 students and I will hire my partners who will be a professional German trainer. So is it like you are going to increase the volumes in the future, or how do you just think yourself, like, okay, this is my level.
uh,
What level do you think I can maintain? Like I can maintain around 1,000 students, or I can maintain only very hundred few students, like very 100. So what kind of ideas do you have, ma'am?
I personally feel that teaching comes with quality, okay, because it's a language. I also have to focus on, how people, like, I'll give you one example. So pronounce after me.
We
Yeah, just pronounce after me. V hyphen Z.
we hyphen C.
Yeah. So, and you say ish heiser,
Ish Heiser
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah, so this way, we teach each and every student. So if suppose I have 10 students, I take pronunciation for each 10 students, okay? So for me, I personally have handled, I told you that I was doing corporate trainings. Okay. So at one go, I have handled 100 students at a very good pace. Obviously, I cannot ask each and 100 students V hyphen Z, but with a balanced thing, because there are different set of questions, there will be numbers, alphabets, but I make sure that in 100 batch, uh, not every week when I teach, everybody gets a chance to pronounce. And I had managed that well. I think somewhere around max 100 students is something I feel I can manage, but beyond that, I think I don't want to compromise the quality, right? Because everybody should be able to uh, get a chance, because there are letter writing correction also. The format of German language is slightly very similar to IELTS English test. Okay, you have reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills, right? So when it comes to writing skills, when my students are submitting letter writing, formal and informal letter writing, okay, I have to check those 100 letters also, right?
So yeah, tell me, ma'am, because since you talked about manifestation and all the things, like you also told about your past experience, like when you're like a 5 year kid, you imagine yourself teaching to many people. So tell me, at this point of life in your time, if you wanted to manifest something, like I have to teach a large number of crowd in this world, like I have to become a professional trainer, I should be a known person all across the world, like Pratiksha ma'am will be teaching us German language. So it will be incorporated in your work. So what kind of ideas? Please do not think logically, but if you wanted to have something, as you told, the universe will contribute to you in achieving that. So tell us about like your wish, which you wanted to do in this professional, ma'am, as a German and Deutsch trainer. So what are the things you wish to do in the future? Like it will make your soul full. I mean, it will make your soul fulfilled, ma'am.
Okay, very interesting and very good question, I would say. See, I'll tell you, like, I am 1989 born. I'm 36 now, okay? So if I calculate my retirement age, I have more 15 or 18 years to go. 60 years, right? Like how we calculate. Sorry, not 20 years, 20 years, okay? I have spent good corporate time in my corporate life, like 15 years. Now I want to spend more time, like if I look at my later stage, after 40s, I'm already 36. So after 40s, if I think, I want to dedicate it to, guiding people, whether it's counseling or whether it's teaching, because I told you that it gives me immense, satisfaction. Okay. So how I look at, like if I want to plan something for my future, and if there is a large volume of students, I work with my marketing team to get, large amount of students. And obviously I also want to, if I have large amount of students, I'm willing to reduce the fees to a greater, extent. And my inspiration will come from, Khan sir, actually, how he manages, so many students. If you know Khan sir, who is actually a UPSC and IAS, preparation he does. He's a very popular one. He only takes, I think, rupees 500, and he teaches students in lakhs.
Wow, I'm very excited to
Yeah, and
know
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
I mean, Khan sir is something like um, inspiration, for all the teachers, at least for me. Like his videos are phenomenal, the way he explains on YouTube, etc. So if I in future, like if I have a massive, crowd, how am I going to, these are all inspirations, how they manage, and I am also willing to, actually I also had a plan to reach out to, rural areas where, see, in metro cities, people know what they want to do in their life. There are, rural areas, I would say, 3 tier, second tier, they don't know what to do. Like, yeah, engineering is done, then what? Who is going to guide them? So I had reached out to certain, via I had reached out to certain people where I can do some internship, or, I can teach them for free. So I am also actually planning to start a YouTube channel where I'm going to upload once a week. I can only do that currently because I have a small 10 months old baby, and reach out to more and more people if I can. So that is one of my plan. I definitely think about, reaching out to people who really need, who cannot afford. And that is one of my plan. Other thing I told you is career counseling. Why career counseling? Because I'll tell you, like, last time when I went to India, I visited India. I was in a rickshaw, and I started speaking to the uncle, rickshaw driver uncle, actually. And he started just speaking, what do you do, what I have done, what his son is doing. And I feel that there is nobody to guide these people,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So I actually, yeah. And my students itself, I have guided many students, people. So people know now, they know now that in Germany the education is free. The education in Germany is free since last so many years, 2012, 2010. My students used to come, they were not aware. So I gave them that awareness. And there are people, the students who have already settled in Germany, they're doing good. So I feel it's a combination of work, reaching out to more people, reaching out to people who are needy, who are, who need, who don't have any guidance. So it's a combination of work. And I said that teaching and counseling is something which personally gives me a lot of satisfaction, because you are doing good about someone, right?
So it's like speaking about your future thing. So you also wanted to extend a large number of students by having a lakhs of people, and because of this you will be able to reduce the fees. So tell me, ma'am, so if you have any kind of ideas, like you will be recruiting persons as a German trainer from colleges in India, and will you be able to recruit them, and will you be able to teach them, and will you be able to recruit them in your work to do this German like video call training classes? So are you planning like that?
See, if I have large number of students, like if I get more enrollments, and which obviously 4 5 people which we are currently teaching are not, able to do it, obviously we will recruit. And as I told you that I always believe in giving opportunity to freshers also. Happy to train them, because teaching is an art. You might know language, but teaching how the flow of the topic should be, it's an art. So sometimes it is inbuilt in you, sometimes you need some training. So happy to do that. Yeah.
So on the other hand, if anybody wants to approach you and if they wanted you to guide them in their career, so being knowing the German language, so do you connect with them offline or just you just connect with them online, or what mode in what mode do you like to connect with them? Huh?
If you are in Australia, I am
Yes,
happy to
okay.
have a coffee with you and connect. But I think if obviously since I'm in Australia and you will be in India or other part of the world, so online connection like Zoom or Google Meet, I'm happy to connect. You can reach out to me via my Instagram channel, Learn German with Pratiksha. And happy to have a chat, and whatever guidance you need, I can give it to you.
So, what kind of persons can come to you? Like they should come right after the college as a fresher, or an experienced person should come and ask you about career counseling, or a kid like basic 10th standard they can come and ask you about career counseling. So, what kind of age category do you recommend? Do you also?
All ages, because I feel language is not restricted. Even if you are 50 plus, you can learn a language. Even if you are at 10 years. So I think I get a lot of mothers calling me that kid is in third standard, should they start learning languages? And I guide them accordingly. Like students already have so much in curriculum, but I think these days learning a new language adds on. So I think the best, anybody can approach me, but yeah, after 10 standard is where you start molding your career. So I think after 10 standard, like if you're 15 plus, 14 plus, you can reach out to me.
So, currently, I should have asked this question again at the front place. So, which part of Australia are you right now, ma'am?
Sydney. I am in Sydney. Yeah.
Okay. So, the time zone is like around 5 hours from Indian time.
It's 5.5 hours, so now it's 9 p.m. here. Yeah.
9 p.m. Okay, ma'am. So once again, thank you for connecting with me in this Woman Today channel's interview. So I have asked for just 1 hour. The time is around 1.5 hours. We have just extended this session
Oh,
of
okay.
interview,
No problem.
and it was a nice conversation with you, discussing a lot of things about career counseling in being a German trainer, and also if you know any kind of Deutsch language or German language, so it will be opening a lot of opportunities also in the corporate world, and also as a freelancer you'll be able to explore a lot of good opportunities. That was the topics which we have discussed in this interview. I'm really humbled to have your interview because you're right now in Australia in a different time zone, and we just aligned our timings. Like we had a lot of hurdles connecting with each other. Like you were busy at some time and I was busy, and
Right.
we have made a lot of things worked out. And really, I'm humbled a lot. And thank you for just accepting this invitation and coming to this Women Today channel interview, ma'am.
Thank you, Krishna. And I think I would like to thank you that, you have started this channel, motivating others and interviewing, women, force. So thanks for creating this channel and, having me on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening. So this is your Woman Today YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to the Woman Today's YouTube channel. Please click on the
Yes.
subscribe button. Please click on the bell icon so that you can receive notifications whenever I post new videos regarding interviewing many women entrepreneurs all across India and across the world. And if you do have any kind of comments that you wanted to ask about this video, like if you wanted to know about German language, you can ask Pratiksha ma'am told, you can just approach her via Instagram. So I'll just mention your Instagram ID in the descriptions in the YouTube description right now below this video. You can just have it. She's actually happy to help you out by just being a career counselor, and also she is very happy to recruit you as a German trainer. She has a lot of opportunities waiting for you to make your career grow and also make you very successful in this life. And once again, thank you, Pratiksha ma'am. So this is your Krishna signing off in Woman Today's YouTube channel. And today's our guest is German and Deutsch trader Pratiksha ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, ma'am. All the best for your future
Thank
upcomings.
you. You too, Krishna.
Thank
Good
you, ma'am.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.